Hello everybody and welcome into the SFA Season 16 Week 4 BearCave games. We are back. Welcome in. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear the fight song made by Rick. It is the old school FSN College Football Saturday theme. So I figured I'd throw it on our stream, see how it feels as an intro. But we are back, big time week, big time upset coming into the week. Number 3, Cincinnati goes down in the sim to Navy of all teams. Wild result there. Just a couple of things before we get started. We have an earlier game day this week. Today is Wednesday, obviously. Normally this season it's going to be on Thursdays. And then this following week is going to be a little different. I am projecting it is still going to be on Thursday. However, I am going to Denver tomorrow night. So, things might get delayed this week, so BearCave might come out a little bit later, or whatnot. So just letting you guys know, scheduling will be a bit funky this week because I'm going to Denver to watch Baylor in Colorado on Saturday night. But let's get on into the SFA. It's an online dynasty, ran through Discord, Twitch, and YouTube. You might hear a little buzzing in the background just because it is really hot in SoCal. I need my air conditioning on. Normally I don't use it, but we're on a bit of a hot streak here over in SoCal. So, oh yeah, we're on the throwback game, Mike. We gotta do it justice. So let's turn on the in-game audio now that it is done going, and we'll get on into it. If you don't know what BearCave is, we take the 10 best games of the week that aren't game day. We go in, live sim them. If it's close at the end, we will jump on into it and watch it live. And we're going to start out with a historical banger. A lot of people are saying that this game will end up winning the division. A lot of people saying Cincinnati will win the other division, or maybe Army now. But Charlotte and Western Kentucky, two historic rivalries just a couple of years ago. This game went to triple OT, and Charlotte fumbled the game away on the goal line. So we'll see what happens in this one today. We don't have Kenzie. It's no longer Yui. We've got Coach Rosie, but you still have a lot of the players y'all know and love. So let's get on into it. And reminder, channel points are now used for the raffle, to buy raffle tickets. So every single game, we're going to do a prediction now, and we're going to do who covers. So it's going to be based on your BearCave lines. So let me pull that up for this game here. And this is a Western Kentucky 3-point spread. So do you like Western Kentucky to cover the -3 line, or do you want Charlotte in the upset? Are you going to pick Ham Sow? Now remember, if it lands right on that 3 line, it always goes for a cover. Just so you guys remember, and they're always going to be a minute and there's no way I can raise the minimum. I tried to look, so get your Bob and us ready. Here we go. We got a fun one tonight. We don't have NFL trashing our style this week, which is awesome. We just get to chill. We have a great slate of games, and then we have arguably the most defensive battle coming that you've ever seen. East Carolina, easily the best defense in the country, taking on Oklahoma State, who in the sim has the best quarterback in the country, but on live historically he is just terrible. So we'll see if Staquavius Gates can take on ECU today and if they can score any points. But let's see. A lot of people, I think, going Western Kentucky to cover. Remember, Western Kentucky is coming off of a loss to Cal, and then Charlotte is coming off a loss to Ohio State. And the funny thing is, those teams, Ohio State and Cal, will be playing a little bit later on in our BearCave slate. Kind of a weird scheduling thing there, but let's get on into it. We've got Western Kentucky, we've got Charlotte. As always, Coach Rosie, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. I am just going to go with Charlotte, though. I don't think she is in the chat. Give it a couple of seconds here before we go ahead and get started. DeMarcus McKenzie for Heisman. I mean, if he keeps having games like he had last week, maybe so, if you stay undefeated. All right, here we go. We got Charlotte. We've got Western Kentucky, baby. And it's a beautiful day. I've got gummy clusters on deck. I've got my drink. We are cooking. So here we go. Western Kentucky and Charlotte live from the Hooch in Bowling Green. Can Western Kentucky once again win this division? Remember, they've won the AAC in 2 of the last 3 years. But if you look at Charlotte, man, the defense is looking good, even though they lost Winnie Corso. So here we go. Charlotte and Western Kentucky. Who you got? Ton of SFA players on both sides. We're going to kick it. So Charlotte will receive first. So here we go, folks. You're right, Nathan. Don't sleep on Rutgers. Very well could win the division as Western Kentucky starts out with a tutty here in the first quarter, and they miss a field goal. Second quarter now, and Charlotte ties it up. Cannot miss those opportunities in these close rivalry games. Charlotte takes the lead. So into the third quarter, Western Kentucky on their back foot. They're down 2 scores. Charlotte up 20. Oh no, Charlotte not like this. No good. So chance for Western Kentucky. They're down 3 scores. They got to score fast, and they do. Down 2 scores. Remember, we only jump in if it's a 1-score game with 2 minutes left. They've got to get a stop here, and they don't. Clock continues to run. Another first down. Toby Zuma, they're killing him here. Finally a 4th down, but only a minute left. So we got to see, can Western Kentucky find a way? 4th and 5, they get it. Can they score? 29 seconds. And 13 seconds off the clock, and it doesn't look good, folks, and that's gonna do it. It's a turnover as Mays throws a pick, and Charlotte gets the win. So here is the scoring summary. So that is a Charlotte outright victory for you guys following at home on your BearCaves. Mays scored on the ground. Hamsal scored on the ground. Tough day at the office here for Western Kentucky's Hamsal, 12 of 25, 130, 3 touchdowns and an interception, 48% completion percentage. And remember, Nico McMotors is out with an injury, so Toby Zumba, the fullback, and then I guess Garrett Garcia is the lead back now. Unreal. Bit of a shock here to start the day. Manny Midline has 3 TFLs and a sack. And the interception goes to Devontae Billings, SFA player, frequent Team of the Year guy. And a couple of deflections and no fumbles, or 2 fumbles here. And for Western Kentucky, it was a tough day at the office for Maximus Mays, 22 of 45, 297, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. And Jackson Viss couldn't get anything going on the ground. Chuck Sledge almost has 100 yards. Laz Palmer only 4 catches. And Deontay Lightfoot not doing too much here. The free transfer, Edward Schroff does get some pancakes. Percival Peely gets himself 4 TFLs. And how about Tim Hollins, man? A couple of sacks, interception for Randall Johnson, and the deflections to Drake Rutherford. So that will do it here for this game. Remember, if you are following along on your BearCave picks at home, it was a Charlotte outright victory here tonight, folks. So let's, as always, I got to get my players of the game screenshot, so bear with me. Bit of a surprise already here. Charlotte with the outright. So now I think they might be the favorites to win the division. I don't know who else is going to beat them. And wow, 86% we're going with the Hilltoppers. Charlotte gets it done. That is a big-time payout for whoever that was. Congratulations. As we move to the next one. Now, next we're going to travel to the Big Ten as Coach CTE, the boy, takes on Papa Smoke and a rebuilding Maryland. So who do you got? Do you have Michigan State or do you have Maryland? Now remember, folks, if you're here, Coach CTE, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive, as you are the away team. But who covers? Is it going to be MSU? They are a -7 favorite on the road. And if you're questioning, like, why is that line like that? Because of Maryland's recent success, it's because they no longer have Jerry Schmierman. They're down a couple of receivers right now due to injuries. And Michigan State slowly rebuilding in the back. Kind of a dark horse type of a team. But Coach Papa Smoke, He's still a great coach. He's still putting a good team out there week in and week out. New quarterback Benedict Hasselbrook, the 2-star player. So it's a 7-point spread. Who you got? So I don't see Coach CTE, but Papa Smoke, you're in here. So let me know, kick or receive. You don't get to call heads or tails, but you do get to call kick or receive. And nobody running with Michigan State. Interesting. I don't see anybody pushing channel points so far. There you go. We get a nice little bidder on there. And we're going to go with a kick for Maryland. Beautiful, beautiful. So let's get it started here. Love me some Maryland Terrapins. There's one team I wish would have won a national championship. Now that Baylor has done it, it would be Maryland. They've had some of the best SFA players of all time, and they've been in that mix, but they've never quite gotten to the top of the contenders list. And it's such just like an outlandish team to win it all. So I always have a soft spot for SFA Maryland here. And if you remember, Michigan State with Coach McNasty, they lost the national championship to Clemson. So here we go. Can the new quarterback, Benedict Hasselbrook, lead the Terps? Maryland Stadium, home dog, always a bit disrespectful. And they're going to kick it, so no opportunity here. Here we go. Maryland, Michigan State. This was the last game on to the BearCave bracket. Or BearCave slate. I was picking between like 3 different games. But Michigan State 10-3. 10-3, 10-3. Maryland, you got to score. They get 6. This is a low-scoring charade, a true Big Ten classic, as it's 10-9 at halftime here. And Maryland, once again, still down 8. And there it goes. Michigan State pulling away. 31-9. 3:24 and a quarter. Maryland just shitting bricks there in the third quarter. But wait a second. This is not over, folks. Quick touchdown if they can get a stop. No, this defense is booty cheeks as they give up a massive drive there. And this one is all but over, it seems. Yes, sir. Nathan, Santiago Beachwood, the SFA reject, had himself a massive day. Could end up being player of the week. Dylan Grimmer was active, and then, returning a punt there in the third quarter, and the floodgates just opened from there. Truly one of those game-breaking plays. Much like that punt return for Kansas State against Arizona last week in real life, if you watch that game on the Friday night. But Benedict Hasselbrook, he had 15 of 35, 234, 1 tutty, and 3 interceptions, 42%. Not going to get it done. Jason Austin couldn't find any room either. And Kiki Okacha, the SFA player, led the team. Love to see that he's producing, but once again, they're down their top 2 targets. Not going to work out for you, typically. And then on defense, Ferris Butter, the SFA player, 2 TFLs and a sack. And Ellison gets a sack as well. No interceptions today. And deflections for Yamari. Oh, no. He does get a fumble, though. And for Michigan State, Marcus Phillips, 25 for 48, 360 and 3 tutties. Good day for him. Rushing the ball, Marcus Phillips as well led him. Peters was right behind him. Mark Gorman had a massive day, 11 receptions, 190 and 2 touchdowns. As is on defense here. 2 TFLs for both Kendrick and DeLuca. No sacks, though, and a couple of interceptions, 3 of them to be exact. Not going to get a lot of wins here when you lose the turnover battle that drastically. So that will do it here, as that will end up being a Michigan State cover for those of you guys following along at home. MSU cover. So is Michigan State a team to be feared here in the SFA this season? Marcus Phillips seems to be the real deal here. You never know. Might see him threatening the top 25 this week. All right, so let's move it along here. And, oh, baby, we got a good one now. We've got Southern Miss, who was arguably the best group of 5 team last season, And we got UTSA, a fan favorite team. Dogwater, if you're here, let me know. Kick or receive as you're at home. You can't pick heads or tails. 2.5-point favorite for the Golden Eagles. So let's get this prediction going. So this was an MSU cover. We'll pay those out. And now once again, 2 days in a row, or 2 games in a row, we the underdog in the picks and what you guys are posting wins. The lesser picked team, I should say. So do you have Southern Miss at -2.5, or do you have UTSA covering? What do you got? What do you got? All right, so here we go. And he wants the regular orange and blue. Yeah, that's the regular orange and blue. So here we go. All right, so if Dogwater's not here, then I will just go with the away team like normal. So very interesting game here. Dogwater's defense does have a pretty good D-line now, so I could see them kind of hurting Southern Miss in the run game. Very interesting. It's going to all come down to Southern Miss's defense, I think. So we'll see what happens here. Let's get on into the game. Do you believe in miracles? Can UTSA, remember, this is the team that was close to beating UNC on BearCave a week or two ago. This would be a massive win for UTSA. They'd probably get themselves into the top 25 conversation with a win here. So here we go. We're in the Alamo Dome, home of the UTSA Roadrunners and Coach Dogwater. He's balding from all the stress of having a career full of bad quarterbacks, missed opportunities, and no playoffs. So here we go. Southern Miss, UTSA. I still think SMU is probably going to win the division. Don't worry, Mushbrain. Unless, of course, you just completely fold without Fedro Bautista. That's yet to be seen. But look at Miles Tilley, baby. He's got the bulldog face mask, the massive defensive tackle arms. Let's take a look, see what happens. So it's going to be heads and kick, like always. UTSA wins the toss. They decide to kick it. So here we go. Massive group of 5 non-conference game here tonight. 0-0 to start. And Southern Miss wins the first score. I don't know why I just said that, but 7-0, 14-0, nothing doing for UTSA. No, it's 21-0. They're getting cooked. 24-0. Does UTSA have something special? Doesn't look like it. The team is not looking great. They finally get one, and they do get the 2-point conversion. So wait a second, but not looking good here for them. Wait a second, it's a quick score. You never know. It's Chris Ham for 79. Hold the line. We'll go one play at a time. Can they get a stop? No, they can't. Clock's going to continue to run. Please, somebody on this defense. All right, it's 4th down. Can they get a quick tutty? They got to find Rylan Warrenberg, and it's 4th and 3. Probably the game here, and they don't get it. Chris Ham can't hang on. 12-point game is probably going to do it. They do hit a field goal. It's still a 15-point game. We're not gonna end it here. A quick throw there. Can they find them? 4th down, and no, pass thrown away, and that will end up doing it here. 30-15 is going to be your final. So they gave up they put up a nice fight there at the end. Sean Martin, the Yams legend, and Chris Ham, the Yams legend, couldn't put it together there. 30-15 is the final, so that will be a Southern Miss cover for you guys following at home. So we had an outright cover as Trey White. He did return this season, 15 of 25, 209, and a tutty. Rushing the ball, Andy Weber is the new guy along with Trey White. Not a lot of great running room, kind of like I predicted, but they were actually pretty good through the air. And on defense, couple of guys got some TFLs, 1 sack for Willie Thompson, no interceptions, surprisingly, and a lot of deflections. John Henley, SFA legend, he had 3 interceptions in a day. Willie Thompson gets a fumble. And for UTSA, Spurlock completed a pass. They also had the punter. Man, Dogwater was in his bag today. He had a punter throw a ball, and he also had the running back throw it, as Miles Tilley went 11 for 37, 210, and 2 touchdowns. 29%. Oh, that's disgusting. As Mercury Morris and Spurlock shared carries here. And Chris Ham, 5 for 135. They're missing their tight end, though. Just not a great day for them. But Pratt and Concoro, double-digit tackles. Concoro cooking in the middle. 4 TFLs and a sack himself. And then for interceptions, nothing doing for anybody there. Couple of deflections, though, for Rylan Warrenberg. And that is going to be it. So, Southern Miss does get the cover. As we will move on. Haven't entered a game quite yet here tonight. Running on through it. So Southern Miss cover. Bang, bang-a-lang. All right, and we continue on. Alright, sorry, I just had to reply to my dad. It's supposed to rain at the game, so, this weekend, so I have a raincoat. Had to tell him. Okay, so who's next? Who's next? We've got Notre Dame and Clemson. Coach Huey back to the ACC. She has not been high on her new transfer quarterback, Boss Hennessy, since the opening week loss to Virginia. However, they are 2-0 since, so we'll see if the Boss Hennessy train can continue to roll, as Southern Miss did in fact cover here. So Huey, let me know, heads or tails, kick or receive. Who covers? Will it be Clemson at -6, or will you go Notre Dame +6? Beef McWhat now signing. So, Coach Keat, make sure to DM me that you redeemed a raffle ticket just so I remember. But thank you for redeeming. Congratulations. You'll now be +1 into the pot. We had a lot of people claiming them, so we'll be doing this all season long. Remember, 80 overall player just for watching the streams and participating, if you win the raffle. Yeah, that's how it goes, Cryo. Sometimes the best gifts are the random ones. Alright, so we're going to jump on into this game. Like, my quarterback that first took us to, well, yeah, I guess I'm not a big fan of him anymore, but, I forget his name right now, but, yeah, I got a free athletic quarterback. He was awesome and ruined our season. So here we go. We're at Clemson. Notre Dame coming in. They want to do the classic unis. That's what we're going to do. Notre Dame always with the traditional. As you look at this division, and it is ridiculous. Everybody has a loss in conference already. This is just, remember, Boston College won this division at 7-5 last season. Anybody, I think, has a chance but Syracuse or Pittsburgh. No, it wasn't Bo Wallace. It was my IGR guy, and he wasn't an SFA player. I'm forgetting his name right now. It was, Remember the redshirt sophomore. I had him for 1 year starting. Maybe 2 years. Oh, yeah, we got DJ Satterfield starting here. Everything just kind of morphs together at this point. But here we go. Notre Dame and Clemson. Both unranked. Clemson trying to find their dominance yet again here in the SFA. They've got the IGR talent to do it. So, as always, if you're not end stream, it's heads and kick and receive. As here we go. Can Notre Dame get it done on the road? Can Boss Hennessy leave Notre Dame to the promised land? 0-0. As you all know, I swear, he's just DJU of real life. 14-7. Wait a second, Notre Dame! They're up 14 on the road in Death Valley. Oh, and they fold. They're going to fold this game. We already know, okay, they get a field goal. Beef McWhatnow's in the game, and they can't score! I mean, this guy's name's literally DJ. It's going to be DJS. All right, next possession, and it's intercepted! Clemson's going to get cooked. But no good here. Can they score? Yes, they do. It's a 9-point game. Very quick score. Is Notre Dame going to fold? Remember, we can't jump in until it's a one-score game. Hennessy gets the tutty here. And once again, we get a 31-15 game. Weird scorers alert here today. But now we need DJ Satterfield. Have a legacy drive. Can they get it done? Can they score? Yes, they do. It's still a 10-point game. Do they get it? Yes, they do. Okay, so we're at 8 points. So we'll jump on in to see the onside kick. Can Notre Dame secure the win on the road? And yes, they do! Notre Dame has it. They are going to beat Clemson. Remember, we always check out the... We always check out these moments so that there's no funny business. So, Boss Hennessy gets a massive win, easily his best win in a Notre Dame uniform. Beating Clemson on the road. We get another outright victory here. It'll be a Notre Dame outright. So, we've had Charlotte outright, MSU cover, Southern Miss cover, and now Notre Dame outright. His best victory. I think this might be his best win of his career. Because all the other big time wins were paired with like Bishop Moore at Tennessee. You know, he didn't play the whole game. Maybe his Georgia Tech comeback. I don't know if he played the whole game there. But what a game is Jolly got an 86-yarder. It wasn't looking good there early. But Tennessee gets it done. Boss Hennessy, 16 of 28, 286, and 3 touchdowns. An unreal effort here from him. He added 49 on the ground. Unreal day. What a job. As John Clemson also has a good day. 2 TFLs for McKinney. A sack for Jason King. And interceptions. 2 for the freshman. Kendall Stoudemire, the one-star player, gets it done. Unbelievable. He had an interception in that Virginia game as well. Love when these young SFA players make a splash. And as we take a look at Clemson, DJ Satterfield, the SFA player, I mean, this is as boom and bust as it gets. 28 of 47, 395, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 59%. Running the ball, he only had 25 yards. The fullback, Zach Roberts, that's right, they're without their star running back, Roden. And Beef McWhatnow goes 7 for 109. And on defense, 3 TFLs here for William Johnson. No sacks on the day, no interceptions, and a couple of deflections here across the board. That's not going to win you a lot of football games. Yes, sir, any SFA player will help you out. Because, sure, it's a 75 overall, but SFA players are always specialized in something. They always have something that they're elite at. That's what makes them so valuable. So Kendall Stoudemire as a cornerback / wide receiver guy, he has really high catching for a cornerback, allowing him to secure all those interceptions. So it's just one of those things, you know. You gotta secure the top talent, baby. All right, here we go. Next up, we've got perhaps a shocker brewing in the SEC. We saw them take down Texas last week. Can they hold strong now as the favorite, taking on A&M? We got Llama. Llama, let me know if you're here. Heads or tails, kick or receive. Or Fly if you're here, let me know. So this was Notre Dame +6. And now we got LSU. Do you have LSU -3, or is this going to be a hangover game? Is A&M going to smack them around? Remember, A&M still has a ton of talent. You can't sleep on A&M. They are a very good team. Just the SEC, you know. They have a 99 overall quarterback, for crying out loud. Yes, it's Herky Streets, but he's still a 99 overall. All right, so who you got? Is LSU going to cover? They're now ranked. LaVelo Blackley, the 2-star SFA player, Addie McBuckets. Now, they did lose Deshaun Niebers for the $1 million man for an extended period, though, one of their wide receivers. But they do have Jelani McRae, the 5-star freshman. So we'll see if he does something. And nobody wants to put points in. Bunch of Weenie Hut Juniors. Bunch of Weenie Huts. And here, you know what we're going to start doing? Because can I /give? How channel points? Is it possible for me, Cryo, is it possible for me to do, to give channel points? What's the display here? Because if I can give channel points, I'd like to, like, if you do the exact, what is it called? The exact score, I can, like, send you 1,000 coins or something. I don't know. Anyways, all right, let's get it started. A&M, LSU. I don't see Llama, so we'll go on board. Yeah, I guess I can, apparently. I tried. But as a creator, I should be able to give them out if I want to. Because it says I have infinite. Alright, here we go. We are at the other Death Valley. Bum-ba-da-dum. LaVelo Blackley, his sophomore year. Is he him? That is the question. Tiger Stadium. Heads and kick as always. LSU wants to receive. Interesting choice. Number 21 in the nation. Maybe a bit disrespectful here for LSU, but they gave up a field goal. No score yet for the Tigers. Oh, no. Not an interception, but A&M can't. Oh, no! Another turnover. They're down 27.5. Oh, no. Disaster for Llama. He's better off not knowing when it's game day. Oh, what an unreal. Wait a second. This is a mid-off between LaVelo and Herky. But Herky, dude, they're getting smoked. What is this? It's 48-10. On your dome, Llama boy. Another turnover. How many has this been? I swear this game has had like 10 turnovers. Unreal game. 51-24. That is your final. What a game. What an offensive display. They had 24 in the second quarter. They tried to get a little bit back here, and oof. Not a good day here. As that's going to be a Texas A&M outright victory, baby. So Herky Streets, 22 of 34, 292, 3 touchdowns, an interception, and 64%. This is probably the best game of his career. He's been a massive bust for them. And rushing the ball, I mean, they did pretty well. They had 3 rushing. Yeah, definitely his best game of his career. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. Ernest Barber had himself a decent day with the 2 tutties. Apodaca, SFA player, and Kaloran both give up sacks, but a lot of pancakes. And on defense, they had 2 TFLs here from McNeil and Rogers. 1 sack on the day, but 3 interceptions along with how many fumbles? 2 fumbles. So 5 total turnovers from LSU today. That is not going to win you a lot of football games. And LaVello Blackley. Oh, no! Somebody called the fraud watch. 6 for 21. The 5-star, the number 1 recruit, the former number 1 recruit, having a Miles Tilley level of a stat line. 6 for 21, 74 yards, 3 interceptions, 28%. Disgusting work. Addy McBuckets tried his best, but he had 3 touchdowns on 25 carries. Never hit over. And then look at this. This is just bad, man. Bad, bad, bad. After you beat Texas, does that mean Texas is just horrible? 6 TFLs here for Steven Darby. 2 sacks. Interception was Darius Johnson. And they themselves got 2 fumbles as well. So 8 total turnovers in this game alone. Unreal game here in Death Valley. Wild, wild, wild. And typically in those kind of games, it's A&M that's on the wrong side of history, you know what I mean? But they got it done. They scored 51. That might be good enough for the most this week. Wild. So A&M, that is an outright victory. So we've had none no covers yet. We've had 3 outright victories, and we've had 2 covers so far, if you're just joining us. So we're going to continue it on here as we tote the rock. Next up is we've got the Patreon game of the week. It is SMU without Fedro Bautista taking on North Texas. Now, you guys picked this line before we knew that there's going to be no Fedro, so it's going to be a push. So it's just going to be a who wins. There's no line for this one. This is a who wins. Do you have an SMU or do you have North Texas and Coach D-Sleep? He has a new quarterback, Axton Brasfield. Prediction coming on now. See what you guys got. 81 overall versus 79. However, no Fedro Bautista. We don't know how the backup is. Are you going to take North Texas? Mushbrain, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. As we are going along pretty crispy, about halfway done with BearCave now. We've only jumped in for 1 game. One of the nation's leading receivers, Jachrist Bass, the last fantasy football reward. Tails never fails, and kick. Tails never fails. All right. Here we go. Matt Love, 74 overall junior quarterback. So not too bad. So going to be very even at quarterback. You got a junior, 74 overall. You got a freshman, 75 overall. So we'll see what happens here. Tails in kick. We got North Texas. We've got SMU. Big time matchup here. Welcome in, Coach Dogwater. You were getting slaughtered in the first half, but you made it competitive in the second half. But you still ended up losing. It was 30-15, and you had a punter throw the ball, and you had a running back throw the ball. You were in your bag in the trick plays, but Miles Tilley, he had a 28% completion percentage. Not very good. So here we go. This game is going to be massive for the division. Arguably, some would say this decides the winner of the division. It was North Texas last season. Will it be SMU this season? So he said tails and kicks. Still got Crawdad Sutherland kicking about. And here we go. The Denton Fatties are out in full force today to cheer on at their North Texas, what were they, Eagles? Mean Green, that's what they are. As SMU scores first, nothing doing for North Texas. As we go to the second quarter, they tie it up. SMU takes a field goal. North Texas takes a field goal. Oh, and a touchdown without an extra point. And they have the lead at halftime. The Denton Fatties going for their third hot dog here in the third quarter as it's 16-10 into the fourth. No scoring. Oh, and North Texas takes the lead. The Fatties are now on their eighth hot dog. Just pounding the Glizzies left and right as we go back and forth. Interception by Axton Brasfield as now SMU is on a drive. And it's fourth down. They're not going to do anything. Down by one. Will an extra point be the deciding factor in this game? It's 4th and 6 now. Remember, we won't jump into the 1 or till the 2-minute warning here. As here we go. They're on a drive. Dink, dunk, here we go. It's 4th and 4, folks. Can SMU keep the drive going? They do have 3 timeouts, so it's not going to be the end-all be-all. 4th and 4, it's going to be a quick throw. It's a screen pass. He turns upfield. That's a 1st and more. But we got a flag! It's clipping on Bushbraid. The Fatties are loving it. Jason Jenkins. It's going to be 4th and 13. What is the call here from Mush? 4th and 13. You got to find Jacrise Bass. He's at the top of your screen. 1-on-1. It's going to be another screen. Can they do it again? Down the sideline, and he gets the first! What a sequence! Unreal! Balls of steel, the call of a lifetime. Mushbrain is in his bag, baby. So now they have a fresh set of downs. Floats that one, and it's going to be 5 for Greg Davis. Nobody expected the screen twice. Absolutely. Nobody was out there, but he still had to break a tackle, and he did. But 2nd and 5, they only need a field goal. The world is their oyster at this point, but they want that touchdown as Jerry Baldwin is cooking, baby, in the backfield. The counter goes for 9. He's not had a big day running the ball, but will take 9 any day. They hurry it up. About a minute left. You don't want to give the Fatties too much time. So we're now at 60 seconds. Love. Over the middle. Hits his man between 2 defenders. What a throw from the backup. That is a big dick throw here from Maurice Carey. 24 of 45. They're still throwing the ball 45 times with a backup quarterback. And now hand off to Baldwin, and that goes nowhere. 2nd and 12. From the 13. They want the touchdown. Pistol. Handoff. Baldwin. Up the gut. He pushes. Oh, my God. Down to the 3. It's 3rd and 2. North Texas exhausting those timeouts. They can probably still get the ball back with like 5 seconds left here. 3rd and 2. We're out empty. Carry. They run hitches. Oh, no. He's going to go. That ball's on the ground. But SMU recovers. Oh, my God. What is this game? 4th and 18. Now they got to go for the field goal. It's a lot harder now. It's 37 yards to take the lead. The kick, it's up, and it's off the post! Oh no, mush brain! What a comedy of errors! The sack fumble to the postie is now a first down, wins it. There you go. D-sleep on your dome. The 4th down, into the clipping, into the sack fumble, and into the missed field goal. Unbelievable. They were only in that situation because SMU missed an extra point, and then they missed the field goal. I think they're going to be holding open kicker tryouts this week on campus. Such a sad, sad result here if you are an SMU fan. Unreal game, and what's even funny is, what if this game ends up deciding the division? A sack fumble into a post shot. Unbelievable result here, folks. An SFA classic here tonight. North Texas and the Denton Fatties cause a minor earthquake, celebrating the field goal off the post. 17-16 is your final for D-Sleep. And that is a North Texas outright. Remember, it was a push line, so not one person put any money on North Texas, so that money all goes to the house. Oh no, Mike, I'm so sorry. Oh, you put 1. Oh, it showed 0K for me. That's why, because it was under. Unreal. And you gotta think, if maybe they didn't fumble and just had the sack, that wouldn't have been a missed field goal. Yeah, especially on a push game. Exactly right, Mike. Well, if they didn't trust their kicker, Cryo, you know what I mean? He missed an extra point. Or it might have been blocked or something, but irregardless, what a way to blow a game. Reminds me of the same situation we just saw in the game day game, where Boston College had a wide open touchdown and the wide receiver went for the one-handed grab on 3rd down. He had a wide open touchdown and it dropped, and then they missed the field goal on the next snap. Only this one had a lot more weight. What a shot right there. Oh no. This is college football at its finest. I do want to jump in, though. I want to see that fumble, though, because that fumble was just hilarious. Can we see this? Can I view the replay? Yes, I can. So, obviously, they're running hitches, where, hitches, if he doesn't throw it, which he should have thrown it right to the guy on the X there, should have been out. He should have thrown it. But if they don't throw it here, then they're screwed. So then you have 2 edge rushers collapsing in on you. And, yeah, you get the helmet right to the ball here. Boink. Yeah, he got the helmet right on it, squished it, popped out. And just comedy of errors right there. Wide open. Reminds me of those Russell Wilson screenshots of Javonte Williams wide open in the back of the end zone. But, yeah, missed kick was the decider there in the second quarter. Nasty work. But no second half points for SMU, so it's kind of on them, 24 of 45. He had a massive day. I think a lot of people are probably happy with this performance for Maurice Carey. outside the fumble, right? They'll blame him for the fumble, but he kept him in this. Ches Northcutt had a tutty. Jacrise Bass was locked down here today. DeGeeter has 13 tackles, 4 TFLs, and a sack, as Giddy Upman had only 2. The interceptions go to Hall and Mitchell. The deflection by Crawdad Sutherland. And then let's look at the kicker. He went 1 for 2 today. The freshman, 67 overall, Lamont Franklin, can never show his face back in Dallas. Is Axton Brasfield, the SFA player, 19 for 37. Not a good day by any means for him. But John Richardson, the new running back, cooking there. Finding a lot of different guys. As TFLs go to Desi Mazood, the SFA player. Kolo Samoa gets 2 sacks. He was in there on that last sack. And we'll see if they gave him the fumble, as a couple deflections. The forced fumble does go to Kolo Samoa. Interesting. Or maybe they gave it to both of them. I don't know. Yeah, the duality of man. Half of you guys, it's always like, oh, I won this week, or, oh, man, this is awesome, watching stream. And then when it happens to you, it's just like, oh, my God. I know the feeling very well, but that's a North Texas outright victory. As we move on to the second half of the BearCave graphic. Oh, poor Llama Boy. Who's going to tell him? Who's going to tell him they turned the ball over 5 times to Texas A&M already? Who's going to tell him? Here, Llama, I'll just show you. 51 on your dome. Not a good game. Lavello Blackley did not play well. 5 turnovers. Not a good day. Oh, great heavens. I'm so sorry, Llama. All right, now we got Cal and Ohio State. So remember, this is interesting because now that Michigan is kind of out of the picture, Ohio State all of a sudden is a real threat to coast in the Big Ten. So, Coach Denny, if you're new, you are new. If you're here, let me know, heads or tails, kick or receive. But for those of you guys betting, not really betting, but guessing, we've got Ohio State. They're a 9-point favorite here. Big-time favorites. They're supposed to be insanely good. Once again, they're quote-unquote back after a couple of seasons. Or do you have California? Now, I often say this when California's on the stream. They haven't had a lot of users in their history, and they are still one of the most successful programs in SFA history. They're a top 6 program in wins. They are just consistently always good. Oof. Yeah, I've been Hail Married and double doinked on BC, yeah. And not to mention the game, what was it? The game against, was that against LA Tech last season with the 2-point conversion on top of it? That's the Hail Mary on there as well. See, Mushbrain, all you had to do was give me ETN. That's it. All you had to do. Just give me ETN and none of this would have ever happened. The blue square does not shine proudly on you. You would have beaten North Texas by 100. All you had to do was give me Travis Etienne. Oh, no! Stop it! Stop it, Mushbrain. No, stop. Stop. I don't want to think about that as we get a 1-pointer on Cal. We got some people in the chat who are very ballsy on this game. We got exactly 1 coin going on this game. Oh. I already hate the Raiders, but I will hate Carlson with extra oomph for the rest of my life. Infinite risk and no payout. But we got rain in the shoe, so potentially an upset brewing here for Cal. They did beat Western Kentucky. you're just doing it for the fun of it. You know what I mean? It's for the rush. You're paying $1 for the rush. One Babana. Yeah, I wonder what the exchange rate is for one Babana to $1. Probably a couple $100K. All right, here we go. Is Ohio State going to dominate? They add 3. 7 for Cal, okay. Now, I think Ohio State might be down their quarterback, because I see a lot of this Cooper guy. I don't see their quarterback. It's 21-3 at halftime. Are we going to get a top 5 upset? Oh, no, not like this. Cal! It's always been Cal. Cal, 40 points! A 40 burger on the road. It's 40-10. Call them the Ohio State Tigers. Looking like LSU out here. Getting throttled at home. A top 5 team. The Ohio State Seminoles. And another top, they score at the very last second because of course they do to make it okay. But it was 40-7. Holy cow. They scored, they scored 29 points in the fourth quarter and they still lost. They got a pick 6, a 72-yard run. They scored 21 without the kicks. Oh, look at this. Williams from Francis. What in the world? So a second top 5 team goes down this week in Ohio State along with Cincinnati. Not a good day for the state of Ohio. It's Mark Cooper. He gets 17 of 31, 208 and 3 tutties. And then Robert Butler, have yourself a day, big fella. 6 a carry, 2 tutties. Chad Blunt is smiling down on this team today. Unreal. You remember, this was a playoff matchup a couple years ago where Cal got in and they took Ohio State into the third quarter, but they couldn't win that game. They get vengeance here today on the dome of the Buckeyes. Congratulations. My God, what a game. Brandon Francis, 27 of 58, 410. Definitely not the game they like to play. John Nelson couldn't run the ball at all. Mark Williams, 9 for 187. That's a Travis Hunter line right there. My goodness. Danny Rice and Chris Smith. No interceptions, deflections, and forced fumbles here for Josh Merriman. So the question is, did Mike get his Bobanos? That's a Cal outright for sure. Man, we got a lot of outrights. That's 4 straight outrights tonight. Oh, he went on the wrong side of history. So if you're just joining us, we've had, 5 outrights and only 2 covers. And we're on a 4 streak for the outright wins. Wacko BearCave this week, and you know who's not enjoying this one is Wind, who he not only lost this week to Air Force, but he picked all covers in BearCave, which he would only have 6 points right now. All right, so let's move it along. As now we get if you have to define the SFA into one matchup, there's quite a few you could do, but one of them that's up there is the Cyhawk game. It's always a classic. Love us a Cyhawk game. We've got Rayshon Gloop on one side, Coach Schwartz and Kirko Squatch on the other. So, Coach Schwartz, if you're here, let me know. Heads or tails, kick or receive. This is another game that does not have a line. This is a straight up who wins. This is going to be an old-fashioned slugfest. You got Ohio State, or do you have Iowa? Iowa led for about 59 minutes and 57 seconds in real life this season, and they lost the Cy-Hawk matchup. So we'll see if that happens again here. Coach Jarkus is very eager to get on the right foot, while Iowa State is trying to propel themselves back into the Big 12 North conversation after their blunder last year, starting 9-0. They were the last undefeated team in the nation, and they ended up losing 3 straight, missing out on the division, and not making the playoff. What an unreal sequence, starting 9-0 and not making the playoff. Think about that in a 12-team format. You start 9-0, you're the last undefeated team in the country, and you don't make the playoffs. Especially like the new scheduling that they do now, where it's much harder. That's wild. All right. So here we go. We got Iowa State. We've got Iowa. Going to Iowa City here. Jarkus. And we got Schwartz. Gotta cheer for my boys in Ames, baby. Kirko Squatch on your dome. Iowa State, one of my favorite programs in SFA history. But Rayshon Gloop, one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. I want Rayshon Gloop to have success. This is his last chance. Welcome in, D-Sleep. If you haven't already, you have to watch your game. You have to. Don't spoil it if he hasn't seen it. But D-Sleep, you've got to watch your game. So go check the Twitch VOD if you want to. Come back, whatever. You have to watch that game. Yeah, no spoilers. Then go, you should be able to already access the VOD. It was 2 games ago, so probably about 15, 20 minutes ago. You have to watch your game. It was an all-timer. All right, here we go. Iowa State, Iowa, Kinnick Stadium. Dun 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 dun. Heads in kick per usual. First quarter in the Cy-Hawk game, Iowa 7. Iowa State dominates this matchup in SFA history, but real life, I think it's more Iowa, or it might be more even. I'm not sure, but Iowa 17-7 here early. Remember, Iowa State was down last week. They had a game-winning drive, as only Kirko knows how. If you remember, real life, the Atlanta Falcons on Monday night had a big-time game-winning drive. As no score here in third, and Iowa State takes the lead. Come on, Rayshon. Come on, Gloop. There we go. We get a punt. Remember, Iowa takes the lead. We'll jump in when it is time. We're going to go one play at a time. Mozzie Barmore, SFA player. Squatch can't do anything. Oh, no. Iowa could put the game on ice right here, but they go 3 and out because that's just what Iowa does. Is Iowa State going to score? It's 3rd and 1. They run it. 2nd and 10. 3rd. 4th and 5. Are they going to take the field goal? Yes, they do. They take the points. We got a tie game here in the Cy-Hawk. All right, folks, it's the Cy-Hawk game. It's 3rd and 1. Let's jump on in. Rayshon Gloop, a chance to be the hero. Rayshon, they bring a blitz. It's picked. He finds Hal Miller, and he gets the first. I meant to say it's picked up, not picked. But Sam Hal Miller, his 2nd reception, the transfer from Oklahoma a couple years ago. He had some injury struggles last season, but still having a great season this time. Inside 2 minutes now, inside the 45, we got split backs. Rayshon Gloop, the transfer from Washington. Speed option and shovel option, and he doesn't do either. He just keeps it there. So 2nd and 9, they might feel comfortable with the kicker right now. At the 44, Rayshon Gloop trips right. Watch the 4 verts. Man in motion, that's LaShonte Bryant, the SFA player. It's triple option. Rayshon flips it out. Oh, Hal Miller catches it. Breaks a tackle. There he goes. You're not going to catch him. Touchdown, Iowa. The Hawkeyes take the lead. What a run from Hal Miller. That was a risky business call as he almost got hit as he caught it, but he ended up breaking the tackle, and they've got the lead. Oh, baby. So now Iowa State, we got a Kirko Squatch legacy drive now. "43-yard rush. Willie Anderson with the kick. It's a boomer, and here we go. Iowa State on the return. And they're going to get him inside the 20. Richie Boots on the return. The SFA player clinched the win against West Virginia last week. Can Kirko Squatch, the Georgia Tech transfer, the BearCave reward player, arguably one of the most hyped-up quarterbacks of all time without playing a snap. He's undefeated as the starter of the Iowa State Hawkeyes, or Iowa State Cyclones. As we get a nice screen pass here. Don't clip me saying Iowa State Hawkeyes. I'd get killed by my family. I do that a lot, but Kirko Squatch. Okay, Day, got to up the completion percentage here. 2nd and 6. Plenty of time. Kirko, he takes off. You know he has some running ability. Remember, BearCave reward players are very well-rounded. He has a good arm. He can run it. Cody Jenkins, his 7th tackle. They're hurried up, already past the 35. 1st and 10 here for the Cyclones. Kirko again breaks a tackle, but he goes down. And that was Silatonga, the SFA player, that burst onto the scene in his freshman season last year. Gets himself a sack in crunch time. 2nd and 12. They had to use that first time out. Kirko drops back. Some miscommunication. And oh my! He gets speared by the corner. Down he goes. Nasty work. He never saw the corner blitz. 3rd and 17. Kirko. It's going to be a mid-screen. It's not open. Another sack. Orlando Silatonga. His 3rd sack of the game. It's 4th and 28. The Cy-Hawk matchup is in shambles. Kirko. He yams it deep. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. 3 straight sacks and then a throwaway. Unreal finish here for the Cy-Hawk. What a blunder. I mean, you get the pass rush for Orlando Silatonga, but that sack by the corner, the slot corner came in. What a tackle. We got to see who that was. It might have been an SFA player. I don't know for sure because number 7, I don't know. That was a weird number, but 3rd and 15. Game is over. Jarkis gets his win. They're back to 2-2. An incredible game here for Rayshawn Gloop. He finally wins the Cy-Hawk game. And this is massive. The Cy-Hawk in the SFA is heavily towards the Cyclone side. So Iowa gets the dub. That is a Iowa outright win. Unbelievable day here. They get it done at home in Iowa City in front of the cancer patients. You'll love to see it. Rayshawn Gloop, baby. When he was a child, he was in the children's hospital. As everybody waved to him, he knew he wanted to play on this field after he committed to Washington. He knew he wanted to go see the ocean for a year and then come back home and be the hometown hero. Said, "Mom, I want to be a Husky. I want to be the backup. I want to be promised day 1 starter and then enter the portal and then come help Coach Jarkis be mediocre." And what has he done? He's done just that. What a tackle from that corner. And Orlando Silatonga wraps him up, the SFA player. 31-24 is your final. Kirko takes his first loss of his career. as a starter. But remember, luckily, this is a non-conference game, so this doesn't impact either of their chances of making the playoff as an automatic bid. So let's take a look, see how things fell. As Rayshon Gloop had a tutty. Willie Anderson's kicking the ball for them. LaShonte Bryant gets it done. Willie Anderson having a day. So for Kirko Squatch, 18 of 36, 193 and a tutty. But he got sacked 6 times. That's not going to win you a lot of football games. But Justin McCall, really good on the ground. They should have ran it more. Ray J. Butler, the SFA player, he was committed to Tennessee, flipped to Iowa State. Mazzy Barmore, this team's going to be so good in the future if we stay on this game. Jason Meeks, a couple of TFLs here for Kenneth Jones, Jamal Henry, Mike Bernard. But they missed a tackle that they really needed to make. And Lewis Fernwood gets a deflection, no fumbles. And for Iowa, Rayshon Gloop, 17 of 26, 259, 2 touchdowns, 65%. What a game for him. And he had 57 on the ground as well, with Hal Miller getting 132. What a game for Rayshon. And then Willie Anderson, man, what a game for him. We thought he was going to be a big bust, but he's having a good season. Carlo Hadley, I told you, the SFA player. He's a 3-star. He was starting in the slot for them, and he had 11 tackles, and he had that game-clinching, I'd say that was the game-clinching sack. He absolutely crushed Kirko there. As Orlando Silatonga, once again, an incredible day for him. The next best, or the next great edge rusher for sure in the SFA. And that will do it. So Iowa gets the outright victory. We have a couple more games left before we go into one of the greatest, what I think is going to be one of the better game days that we've seen, and if you like defense. So we've got Iowa and Iowa State. So this is Iowa outright. All right, next up, we've got Coach Tribe and we've got Coach Nick. We got Tennessee and Florida. Critical divisional matchup. These division games are the ones that matter the absolute most. Neither team has played in the division yet. Florida has lost a conference game. They might have been in the division. I don't remember. But this is massive for Tennessee. Coming off of a loss. They lost to Georgia Southern last week. So they got to bounce back here. All right, who covers this game? It's going to be Tennessee, who is a -4.5 favorite still. And Florida, Coach Tribe, +4.5. Who you got? You got a minute here. See, let's get those Bobinas rolling. $4.5-point favorite. Tennessee, I think, has won this division either 2 or 3 times in a row. See if they can, this new look offense. No more Boss Hennessy. No more Des Stiffy. Florida has a new team as well with DeCorian Thunder at quarterback. Let's jump on into it. Not sure if you guys are going to be using the channel points right now. That's all right. We're just going to jump on in. And we got one more game after this, and it's a massive one. You got Nebraska and Baylor. Rematch of the national championship game. So here we go. We're in the swamp. It's going to be a tough road environment here for Florida. Or for Tennessee. I don't know what I'm smoking today. All right, don't see Nick, so it's going to be heads and kick. They do not win the toss. So here we go. 0-0 in the swamp. Can we see something crazy? We've had, I think, 5 straight outright wins as Florida has 2 touchdowns here in the first quarter. They got off to a good start. Here comes Florida, man. Tennessee, they are struggling. 28-13. Things are getting hairy in the swamp, folks. Florida, 35. 42. Tennessee. What is happening this week? Another top team going down again. They were top 5 last week. Tennessee. They get 20. Can they make this a game? Doesn't seem like it. Korean Thunder, the game of his career. It's a 22-point game, and that's going to end up doing it, folks. Tennessee gets smoked. Florida. Unreal. What in the world is they get a kickoff return, and once again, that just changed everything. These special teams touchdowns are triggering blowouts. What a game from Korean Thunder. He got benched a couple of weeks ago for not playing well, and now look at him. Is Adam Dukes, the redshirt freshman, not playing too hot. 1933-208. Very much a Boss Hennessy line right here. Run the ball, Dennis Martell, the SFA player, can't find too much. And, I mean, what can you say? Your 99 overall tight end gets 2 catches. And on defense, 3 TFLs for Russ. Long slug only has 2. 1 sack on the day. No interceptions. Deflections. Get 1 from Vandersloot, but no fumbles, so no turnovers. And then for Florida, you got Korean Thunder. He throws 4 tutties, baby. He came out a little bit, but the punter threw it, and they converted a 4th down. Unreal there. Then Brandon Wilson is back to Korean Thunder. What a game, dude. Spreading the ball around. 2-2 Tulip getting 10 tackles. So for if it's just a push game, then it doesn't matter, right? It's just whoever wins. But if I put the line, if Florida were to lose this game by less than 4.5, they still would have won the no cover, right? It's not outright. We just had a bunch of outright wins today. It is 4 sacks. Tony Shaw gets an interception. 2 deflections. The forced fumble for Raven Roebuck, the freshman. No, you don't get points. Well, for the scoring and points, yes. So if you put Tennessee no cover, you would get a point for Florida winning outright. That's how it works. Yeah, BearCave scoring is different. So another crazy game. We are going crazy with the outright victories. We've only had 2 covers, MSU and Southern Miss. Yeah, remember, going no cover guarantees you a point no matter the result, at least. What a ridiculous... So we got, that was a Florida plus 4.5. Much like NFL games, the dogs are coming out to play this week. Because we got one more game before game day, and this game could not be on game day because they are already in the New Heights Classic. But this is a massive one. We got 2 Big 12 games left. This is game day. We'll watch this in a little bit. But we've got Nebraska. We've got Baylor. Rematch of your national championship game. Coach Zach taking on Coach Flame. Let me know if you're here, Zach or Flame. As this is a Baylor 5-point spread. Remember, Baylor has only played top 5 teams, or like top 10 teams so far this season. So, do you have Baylor covering? They had a overtime victory against Georgia Tech. They won on the last play against Oklahoma. What's the result going to be against Nebraska? And Nebraska, I believe that they've played only a couple of games. They beat Arkansas handedly, and then they barely, or not barely, but they lost to Bryce Beers. So here we go. Who you got? Do you got Baylor, or do you have Nebraska? Are they going to get their revenge? Nebraska definitely lost more than Baylor did. But both teams have new quarterbacks. The 5-star Vondale Bronco and the 4-star Latrey Reigns. But Latrey Reigns has 1 year to develop. Alright, I don't see anybody posting anything, so Nebraska Cornhuskers, here we go. Heads and kick will be the call. Nebraska and Baylor, a top 10 matchup, baby. And I forgot to change Baylor's jerseys. I'm sorry, Flame. But no one's watching anyway, so it's okay. So Nebraska and Baylor. This is one of the best divisions, if not the best division right now in the country. A lot of undefeated teams. The North is going to be wild. No, yeah, we got 2 viewers, baby. I knew viewership would fall off this season because we had to go to the old game still. It's all good in the hood. I think Baylor wins this. I mean, they beat Georgia Tech. They beat Oklahoma, who have both been a lot more impressive than Nebraska. Remember, when we watched Nebraska in that game versus Coastal, they did not look all that impressive. They had some turnover issues, some big play issues. As they got Arian Green Davis throwing it in the intro. All right, here we go. McLean Stadium. It's going to be heads and kick. So Nebraska gets the ball. Here we go. And quick score for Baylor. Looks like there was a fumble or something, but Nebraska scores. Very volatile team here is Nebraska, as they have a no-good field goal from 25 yards out. 17-7. Baylor! Oh, and a quick score from Nebraska. 33! Is this a Baylor coming out party? 40 from Baylor! 47! What is happening today? 47-21. Are we going to see an epic fourth quarter here from Nebraska? A quick score. Okay, they're starting to cook. Baylor does take some time off the clock, and nothing happens. An interception from Vondale Bronco, of course. So Baylor is going to get another one-up on them, dominating this game. 47-28 on your dome. The scoring summary here, Vondale Bronco, they took the lead quickly, but Latrey Reigns, Niall Sheathers, and then a kickoff return for Nebraska. Safety, though, for Baylor, and then the floodgates open. Once again, extracurricular plays are deciding a lot of these games. I'm seeing after a punt return or after a kickoff return, a team just dominates. Yes, D-Sleep, I'm glad you watched it. The Denton Fatties were busting out the free glizzies tonight. Yes, sir. Vondale Bronco, 14 of 23, 238, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was their top running player, and that's the thing. Vondale Bronco needs some help. Washiko did a good job, but 1 catch from Aaron Green Davis. Not going to win you a lot of football games. As Jakeem Bobo, he gets 14 tackles. Phillips and Page also double digits. Sack for Nunez and Mayhew. No interceptions, not what Nebraska likes to do. Couple of deflections, though. No fumbles. And for your Baylor Bears, your reigning national champions, 26 of 39, 385. This guy's a scrambler. He should not be throwing for 385 and 2 touchdowns. Latrey Reigns might be really good, and they still have Niall Sheathers as well. Oh my. Is DJ Weber, another elite wide receiver. 200 yards, 13 receptions, and Solo Tippins having a breakout year as well. I'm telling you, Baylor might go back-to-back, guys. They might be the first team to go back-and-back, and if anybody deserves it, they definitely do. Jack Kearney gets a sack. Ryan Cobb, another interception. Couple deflections, and Shelton Boyd with the forced fumble. Oh, my. All right, so we're going to check to make sure all games are simmed besides game day. We'll check next week's game so you guys can get a preview. And then we'll end the stream, start it back up in a couple of minutes so that we can get game day rolling. Remember, all VODs will be available later tonight, as this is a Baylor cover. So we finished with 7 outright wins and 3 covers today. We still have game day, obviously, but definitely a interesting results, to say the least. All right. So we had 2 top 5 upsets. Cincinnati and Ohio State both took L's today, as we only have 1 game left. Yep. And then let's check week 5, as Florida State, UNLV, that's going to be a fun one. Definitely going to be on BearCave. LA Tech, USC. Florida now looking pretty good. Oklahoma, close win over, was a close win. SMU, UTSA could be a fun one to watch. Tennessee, Auburn is going to be interesting. Very well could be for the division. Virginia, Georgia Tech. Coastal Carolina. Minnesota Northwestern's interesting. Arizona, one of the highest scorers. Wyoming and Fresno State, rematch of the Mountain West Championship. Boise State trying to get a win. BYU's been a very interesting team this year. Undefeated, Stanford and Troy. Baylor and Ogle. We got 1 versus 2 next week. This will be on BearCave, as both these teams, well, Baylor has not had a game day yet, but they're 3-0. Oklahoma State, man, they have a tough road ahead of them. 1 versus 2. Man, now I kind of want to cheer for Oklahoma State. A 1v2 matchup is gonna feed. Gonna be feeding generations here. Not very often in the SFA we get 1 versus 2 matchups in the regular season. I don't think it's happened maybe ever. I mean, maybe once or twice. And this will be a great one as well. Texas and Texas Tech. That will be on BearCave, and that will do it. All right, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching BearCave. Remember, VOD will be up later. The game results will be up after game day. Recruits are already done. I didn't have to wait for any visits, so that will be right after I eat dinner. And then I'm going to push out as much as I can, either today and tomorrow. But remember, tomorrow night I am flying to Denver because I'm going to go watch Baylor and Colorado on Saturday night. So this week we're still going to have game day next Thursday, but things might come out a little bit later. So you might not have as many days for BearCave, or you might not get your recruiting out, or you just be timely over the next week as I post stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys back here in about 5 minutes at the most. Peace.